Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's live open panel episode of the ZodWriter Show, or whatever this is, live stream. So good to be here. Sorry that I'm a little bit late. I was having some technical issues earlier. What's going on, Johnny? How you been, man?
I've been good. I watched Army of Thieves for you, and I checked out that new Netflix cartoon Arcane. That thing's badass. So anybody listening, check out Arcane. It's a lot of fun.
Arcane. Okay, cool. Sounds interesting. So, wait a minute. Before we get started, we have somebody in the back who's going to be joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by none other than the Watchtower himself, Mr. Jeffrey Warfield. Welcome back to the panel, man. How you doing, Jeffrey?
Good. Right now, who I'm watching. Who right now? I saw that Johnny said that he finally watched Army of Thieves, and he's watching Arcane. But right now I'm finishing up on Lock and Key, and then I'm gonna be going to do that. Then I'm gonna do Arcane. So that's really good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to start Arcane tonight, Johnny. That sounds awesome.
Well, they're releasing it a little weird. They're doing it in 3 episode arcs. There's only 3 episodes for this week. Then there's going to be 3 episodes next week, and then 3 episodes the week after that. So they're releasing it kind of odd, but definitely check out the first arc. It's really good. It's pretty hardcore for a Western animation. Kind of reminds me of the Gungrave anime, but with little girls instead of gangsters. Makes sense.
Oh wow, yeah, that does sound fascinating. I mean, I did watch last night. I got a chance to check out that new western on Netflix that Idris Elba is in.
Yeah, and
Dark Tower.
apparently,
What is it called? I don't even know what it's called. Um, I don't know, something. It takes a lot of cues from Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained. It kind of has that has a very similar vibe to it. I don't know. I don't know. God, I hate the fact that I can't figure out the name of it right now, though. The name of it just kind of escapes me at this moment, but it's pretty freaking it was pretty freaking underwhelming. I will say I wasn't really all that thrilled with it. Maybe I'm getting a little bit difficult to please in my old age. I don't know, but I didn't really like it all that much. I thought it was, oh yeah, the harder they fall is what it's
yeah, that's
called,
it.
right? And
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. It was an interesting film. You know, I watched it with a friend of mine last night, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely,
It's too bad because there's a really good Jamaican movie from the 1970s called The Harder They Come, which is a pretty cool crime drama. It's very grindhousey. It's kind of like Dolomite or one of those, but it's a Jamaican
okay.
film.
Yeah, interesting, man. Well,
Is
yeah,
that
I
what they were
guess
totally.
trying to play off of? I would think.
I yeah, well, I mean, it did have that real. It was a spaghetti western kind of a thing, and
Yep.
it sort of had this, you know, I joked with my friend last night. I was like, well, it looked like it was probably filmed on one of those new iPhones where you can like shoot movies and stuff.
Well,
Like,
yeah. Well, I did hear that that movie was directed by Idris's brother, or he might. I forgot what he was doing. It was either directing or producing, but apparently Idris's brother was a part of this film in some capacity. He was either a director or he was a producer, and apparently this was his first film taking part in. So You
Yeah, I
might
mean,
have
it
something to
had
do with
some
that.
really cool action sequences. I wasn't, it was just really, I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I guess it was, but it did. But again, it did give me, a little bit of Django Unchained vibes. But
Mm,
I guess
I don't think I'll like
before
it
we get
then.
over to the before we get over to the chat, Johnny, I guess we should get right into it and find out, man. What did you think of Army of Thieves? That's a
Yeah.
pretty big. That was a pretty big topic for us last week.
It
Yeah.
was it was cute. It was a really cute movie. I liked a lot of it. I thought the love story was shit. I would have banged the hacker personally, but aside from that, I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't understand why they let the cop live and they both didn't leave on the boat. There was only one cop, and he wasn't worth saving. Zombies probably ate his ass in a week, anyways. So, like, but those are nitpicks. Those are shit picks. All in all, it's a phenomenal, fun film. I mean, it's really great. And the kid that plays Dieter is just. I could just watch him. You know what I mean? Like he could just have a show where he walks around, like opening doors and saying funny
Well,
shit, and I'd watch it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and the funny thing was about how he kind of like started out as like a YouTuber kind of thing where he did his
Yeah.
YouTube thing, and I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, my God, I would subscribe to this dude on YouTube,
Yeah. And
like that's what I was thinking primarily, like instantly right off the bat on that.
yeah, and the funny thing is actually that not only for those who were actually part of the virtual premiere, like that intro actually got us for a second because we thought it was just a troll a little bit because it was like, wait, so we're not seeing the actual movie? So, but yeah, the virtual premiere, we actually did get to see the movie. But but when it first started with that whole YouTube section, the chat was going crazy. Like, wait, we're not seeing the actual movie. So that was pretty funny. But the crazy part is that YouTube channel actually exists.
Oh, okay.
Well, the
Yeah,
crazy thing
it
I
really
think is, I
exists.
think Zod's right. I think that we are going to see. He might not have his own solo film, but I think Brad Cage is going to reappear in some of the connecting materials because they just left him too open ended, and I guarantee you that character is going to show back up in
Right.
something.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him in in the anime. He kind of
Yeah,
comes off as like an anime character. You could see maybe them doing some over the top, over stylized like Zack Snyder like action sequence type stuff.
Yeah, the speed down, slow up,
Right,
stuff with him.
And,
When he picks that guy up and does the belly to back power bomb, though, I was like, man, this guy ain't no joke. I thought like the whole time they were gonna play him up to be tough, but like he gets killed right away, type of thing. But like he was actually kind of a badass. Like
yeah,
when he power bombed that security guard, I was like, that was actually a pretty good move, man. Not bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is, like, I don't know if you've seen this, Johnny, but a lot of people on Twitter and social media have been saying like if Hugh Jackman doesn't come back for Wolverine in the MCU, then that guy can definitely be the MCU's
Wait,
Wolverine.
that wasn't Hugh Jackman. I know it wasn't, but like he did, he looked exactly like him,
Yeah,
man.
he really did.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think he was a little short. That was the only thing that was off.
But
I think,
that's what would make him a good Wolverine, though.
yeah,
yeah,
The fact that he's like significantly shorter than Hugh Jackman, and it would be because that's what Wolverine is, man. Wolverine is like a short, stocky dude, hairy with claws. I mean, that's the one thing that always bugged me about the X-Men movie franchise, that they never. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hugh Jackman was cool, and he did grow into the role, and he does own the character. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to be accurate to what Wolverine is, then you could make an argument that Hugh Jackman was miscast this entire time because he wasn't really the character. It was sort of just it
Well,
was his own interpretation that they
well, that's
decided,
not
well, we got to
true.
make him cool, we got to make him, you know.
Well, because the movie fans, just like the Spider-Man movie fans, will tell you, well, actually, Zod, it's based on the Ultimates comics, which nobody likes Ultimate X-Men anyways,
Okay,
until at
yeah,
least Nick Spencer
yeah,
wrote it.
but
But in the Ultimate X-Men, he was tall and he was cool. He wore leather jackets. He kind of looked like Wayne Static from Static X. So I mean, I guess
Mm.
Hugh Jackman was
okay.
kind of a decent enough casting, but like that is such a lame excuse because nobody cares about the Ultimate X-Men. Like people
Yeah.
like Miles Morales, he's the only thing from the Ultimates universe anybody gives a rat's
Yeah,
anus
Right. I
about.
mean,
that's the
The
only
Ultimates
one
had the
people care
balls to
about.
kill off Peter Parker and wasn't even thinking about the, the implications at all. But the one thing, and it's so funny because you could also make an argument that the vast majority of the MCU is based off of the Ultimates comics
Yeah.
because I mean, right down to Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and you could almost, I mean, although I think in the Ultimates, Iron Man was modeled after Freddie Prinze Jr. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was a
He-
lot younger, and he had a brain tumor. He was kind of like mentally affected in the Ultimates. It'd be different. One thing I know that they won't copy over from the Ultimates is the Fantastic Four because in that Reed Richards was a xenophobic Nazi that wanted to murder all the mutants.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not crossing over into the
Yeah.
MCU.
Well, I mean, I actually would like to see that crossover, just because it would be interesting to see what Marcus Cruz's opinion would be
You
on
still want
that
John Krasinski to play him? John Krasinski would be a great Cinnabon Doctor.
of the Fantastic Four.
Really, I would really the only reason why I would be kind of excited for that is because I want to see what the typical MCU fans think about it. like I'm really interested in their reaction to it.
Oh, they should have kitten, just like they did when they did it in the comics. There's a reason why the Ultimates didn't last very long. They tried to be ballsy. A lot of their stuff that they tried didn't pan out, but they at least tried to do some new stuff with the characters with some of that stuff.
Yeah,
Just a lot of it wasn't very good.
Yeah, and it was to give the Marvel, the Marvel universe in terms of comics. The idea was to give it a cinematic feel. That's what the Ultimates was about. They were trying to, so like you said, Johnny, all the things that they were going for all sorts of different things to see what would stick, what would work. It was almost like it was
Testing.
Marvel's big, yeah, it was their big experiment before they actually sat down and decided, okay, we're going to launch the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it kind of comes off, as like you say, a testing ground for that. And by and large, like you said, there's a lot of stuff that they took from that they ended up using, and then there's a lot of stuff that there's no way Kevin Feige would ever port over, I don't think. But then again, who knows? The Snyder Fan 99 says, "Hey Zod, what's up, Snyder Fan 99? Good to see you." Marcus Cruz starts us off right away. He says, "Hey Zod and Johnny, have you listened to the song Morning by Teyana Taylor and Kelani, look it up." No, Marcus, I haven't, but I'll look it up after the show
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
Anything that you recommend, Marcus, I
I'll
tend to want to take a look at for sure.
have a little bedroom rave with it after the show, man. Flick the lights on it, pump it.
Right, exactly. What's up, Geek Studios? Good to see you. Hi. Efren Guzman says, "Good evening, Zach." Good evening, Efren. Good to see you. The Harder They Fall. Yeah, that was the movie we were talking about earlier with Idris Elba. Zod, do you think Swamp Thing got shafted because it is a hell of a franchise from two feature films a cartoon in one series. Do you think Swamp Thing could be revisited again? Jude was funny in the film. I hope so.
Uh,
I hope they. I feel bad about the Swamp Thing TV series
because it was
because
so
I feel
good.
like it should have been. I feel like it should have been an HBO Max exclusive from the start. I don't understand why they thought, oh, we'll water it down, put it on CW, and then get rid of it and save some money. I don't understand that mentality because Swamp Thing was interesting and people were actually watching that show.
He'll be
So,
back for Justice League Dark, though. That character's not going to be gone for long. He'll be back
yeah,
in some capacity pretty soon in live action. Don't know if it'll work. Don't know if it'll be any good, but he'll be back.
yeah.
okay, and Efren Guzman says Jude was the black kid in the original film. Simon says, "What's up, Zod and everyone? What's up, Simon? Good to see you, brother." And
Hey,
we got Ashley the widow. What's up, Ashley? How are you doing? I got Ashley the widow joining me this Thursday night on Late Night Q&A with ZodWriter. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. The widow always has some very, very interesting and emotional takes when it comes to the MCU. So that should be a fun show. Marcus Cruz says, Zod, imagine if the MCU uses the ultimate X-Men origin story route for the X-Men in the MCU. It would suck that mutants were created by mutants. What do you think about that, Johnny?
I don't know. I think they would have tried to pull that off while Tony Stark was still alive because he had a hand in creating them. And it would be weird for them to just introduce Reed Richards and be like, he invented mutants too. So I think that X-Men will probably have the original origin. Just saying, but
Well, would it?
I
Wouldn't they? I think, and this is just my perspective, that a lot of the stuff that they didn't do with Iron Man, Tony Stark, they're going to end up doing with Reed Richards. This is gonna. You're gonna. This is
that,
where. This is where. Like because they essentially need a new Tony Stark in the MCU,
I'm not
and
sure about that.
who better to have than Reed Richards? Because now you can do a lot of things with Reed Richards and develop of course develop Fantastic Four and whatnot. But I mean, I don't know. That's just my view. I think he's going to
This
replace
is,
Tony Stark current in the
yeah,
current.
yeah, but this is really my theory on really where this could go. Like, it's it really isn't likely. Like, it's really a 10% chance of actually happening. But I could really see with how WandaVision went. I I do have a feeling that they're gonna go the shortcut route and have basically Wanda create all the mutants.
like do
Oh
a
my
reverse
god.
House of the
I didn't
Infinite,
think I
basically,
didn't think
and
about that, but that's brilliant, Jeffrey. I could see them going that route too.
instead of doing a
Wow.
decimation, she just creates them all. That's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
just out of the blue, like you're. I mean, I
Because
mean,
I still haven't seen the WandaVision show, but basically from what I've gathered is that basically she ends up being a goddess or something.
mm. Well, she sort of like WandaVision. WandaVision essentially sets her up to be like the ultimate villain, essentially. Um, but yeah, but no, what you said, Jeffrey, makes total sense to me. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a route that they choose to take because they got to do something. They got to do something with Wanda, and we know for a fact she's going to return for a lot of these upcoming MCU films. So
Yeah, because now that I think about it, like if Wanda is supposed to be a villain, as you said, Zod, I could really see Wanda kind of making creating a mutant army, and that's what kind of sets up the X-Men franchise.
yeah, I agree. I think that that's a fair assessment. Andrew Casale, the one. What's up, Andrew? Says, hey guys, my boy Tobey Maguire is back. Yes, you are correct. Bully Maguire is returning for this upcoming Spider-Man film, and we're going to get to a topic about the upcoming Spider-Man today. We got a lot of things. We got a lot of things to talk about. Bully Maguire is on the list, though, Andrew. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Well, we're going to be talking about the Bully. We got Marcus Cruz here talking about Miles Teller as Ultimate Reed Richards, a.k.a. The Maker.
He already had his chance. He was terrible as Reed Richards. I don't want to say that.
No, but we're not gonna get Miles Teller, Marcus. We're gonna get Richard Krasinski, right?
John Krasinski.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it could be Leonardo DiCaprio, but I don't know.
For Reed Richards?
I mean, it's possible. He's
a little short and fat and old, isn't he? Like Reed Richards is supposed to be kind of young and sleek and sporty looking.
You're gonna want. This is the thing. You're gonna want a young actor to play Reed Richards because you're not gonna want to fall into the Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark trap. You're gonna want a younger actor so that you can have Reed Richards, shepherd in another 10 to 20 years of the MCU. So I don't think they would go with an older actor either, but that would be interesting though. Leonardo DiCaprio. Wow.
Maybe like 20 years ago I could see him getting the role, but yeah, not now.
Well, wasn't he supposed to be Spider-Man back when James Cameron was directing Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was supposed to be the young hip he was supposed to be the young hip James Cameron overly expensive Spider-Man with the back in his Romeo and Juliet days.
So basically the original Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah. Pretty much. Marcus Cruz says what I meant was it would suck that mutants were scientific experiments by humans instead of natural evolving.
Yeah, that's why people hated the Ultimates comics.
But weren't they scientific experiments though? Essentially, just Ultimates wise. Yeah, if we're using the Ultimates, we're not talking about evolution.
The Ultimates. Yeah, in regular. Well, I mean, in the 616, there are certain mutants that were made through science, but they're called mutates. Deadpool's one of them, but like they don't count really. You know what I mean?
Really? Why didn't they just call them mutants in general? Because they're basically the same spelling. Like calling them Inhumans because they were scientific experiments makes sense. But really, it just kind of doesn't make sense at all to call them mutants. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mutates.
That still doesn't make any sense. In fact, that's actually worse.
Yeah, mutates. It's like from the Hellraiser franchise, the Cenobites or the Cenobites. Like it sounds like an offshoot of the Count Chocula breakfast cereal. And we got Daniel Martin here. He says, "What's good, Zod? What's up, Daniel Martin? Good to see you as always." Marcus Cruz is saying Reed Richards is the Ultimate Universe. In the Ultimate Universe became the Maker. Yeah, you said that already. And also, he says, I think the MCU will use the Ultimate Origin for the X-Men because it's simple and not complicated.
No, they won't because people hated it, dude. Like they're not going to use a storyline that was universally despised by fans.
Well, yeah, I mean Kevin Feige. Yeah, Kevin Feige has to tread lightly now because there's a lot of reports that the Disney higher ups are not very happy with Kevin Feige right now over the Eternals. So.
Wow!
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, now I understand why people are calling it the MCU, the BVS of the MCU at this point, because of basically everything that's happening now with Eternals coming out.
We're gonna talk a little bit about that too. But the first topic, and Koopy Malik says hello, Zod, Jeffrey, and is that Johnny? Yes, that is Johnny. And Double MJ says, "What's up? What's up, Double MJ? Good to see you." Katsuka is laughing here, and yeah, and let's see. Marcus Cruz says they are going to retcon Wanda, make her a mutant again. Okay, all right.
I thought he was already a mutant.
Yeah,
they changed it in the comics when during Secret War, and then they're trying to change it back. They always. It depends on what they feel at the moment. Marvel sucks so bad right now, dude. In the comics, their movies and other stuff they're kicking ass, but in their comics they're terrible right now.
Yeah, if he's that old, Marcus, I don't know if they'll go with him for Reed Richards. Then, man, they're gonna go for a younger guy. Well, I think they are. I think they're going to go for a younger guy, but that's just me.
I feel like they're going to go for someone in their 40s. Like I really do feel like they might go for someone.
They'll get Matt Damon to play Reed Richards. Like they'll go real old. They'll shock the world. They'll shock the world. They'll get Ben Affleck to come in and play Reed Richards.
You know what? I think everyone will be fine with a buff Reed Richards.
And Marcus Cruz says Super Skrull is rumored to be the first villain in the MCU Fantastic Four movie. And Batman 530 here says just saw Eternals. I don't know. I thought it was good. And
Me too.
Double MJ says Zack Snyder is the blueprint, and
I thought that was Jay-Z.
And Koopy Malik says Double MJ, that's right, bro. And Marcus here is saying Zod, the Fantastic Four just doesn't work as young people. In my opinion, they are family. They need to feel like they've been together for a long time. Well, that's
people have family, Marcus. Like we're not talking about children. We're talking about having a guy that's like turning 30 as Reed Richards.
Right.
Yeah,
because they went a little bit. Because didn't they try to wasn't that the thing that they did with like Fan Four Stick, where they tried to they tried to make super
out of high school,
super young, and it really didn't pan out well. I always say, for me, until further notice or until we see anything better. It's always going to be Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, as far as I'm concerned, for the best live action adaptation. I think all those actors were cast perfect for that movie.
Yeah.
I think they totally embodied the characters from the 60s comics. But our first topic on today's open panel show is my girl Patty Jenkins. We got to talk about Patty and her Star Wars movie possibly being delayed and or canceled entirely. I say good riddance to Patty Jenkins. If her Star Wars Rogue Squadron or whatever the hell she was doing is out of here, good, Patty. You're finally your arrogance and your utter backstabbery and all your shenanigans that you've been pulling over these last couple of years, the chicken is coming home to roost. And Patty, if your Star Wars movie ends up getting canned, oh well, good night. I personally, I'm thrilled. I hope it happens, because I don't think Patty Jenkins deserves a Star Wars movie anyway. And from what I'm hearing, the director of Eternals is up for directing another Star Wars movie that is essentially going to replace the Patty Jenkins film. So,
I do agree with that. I really do think that it's really rather a good thing that, with how Star Wars has been recently on the movie side, not talking about the TV side of things, because on the TV side, Dave Filoni definitely has it down. But definitely on the movie side, it's been a little shaky. We can all agree on that. Like, you can like the sequels or not, but we can all agree that when it comes to like people having a steady mind, it's been very shaky on them for the movie side of things. So I think this is definitely the smartest decision that they can make right now, especially after Wonder Woman 19, especially after Wonder Woman 2. I'm not calling it Wonder Woman 1984 because I still think that's a mouthful. So, yeah, I think Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm really did look at the reception of Wonder Woman 2 and have decided to right now put it on hold or cancel it entirely.
You know what? I think what I've come to realize is that Patty Jenkins, she's one of those directors who got lucky with the 2017 Wonder Woman film. She got lucky because she had Zack Snyder there helping her out. She had a cohesive team around her helping her with that movie. But I think what derailed her as a director and as a creative in terms of these kinds of films, she basically comes out with this Wonder Woman film that, this sequel that was all her. Nobody else. This was Patty's vision, okay? And when we get to see what Patty's vision is, it's a huge stinker. It was a horrible film. Nobody can deny that Wonder Woman 84 was utter trash. I don't care what anybody says. As far as the DCEU goes, I would have to say that Wonder Woman 84 to this day is the worst of the DCEU films. I think Birds of Prey is a better movie, and I don't like Birds of Prey. Hell, I'm going to go out even further and say I think that The Suicide Squad is a better movie, and you all know how I feel about James Gunn. So, Patty, as far as I'm concerned, shot herself in the foot. And here's the thing with Disney. You have to remember that Disney fired Colin Trevorrow off of Star Wars, off of Rise of Skywalker. They fired him from that movie for a lot less than with Patty. I mean, Wonder Woman 84 was a huge failure in terms of longevity and word of mouth. Once people talked about what this movie actually was, forget it. It did good initially when it first hit because people needed something to watch on Christmas during the pandemic.
Yeah,
okay?
The peak of the pandemic.
I mean, come on. You're like, okay, fine. We need something to watch, but it wasn't a good movie. And I've tried to go back and watch it a second time. Okay, and every time I try to rewatch it, I fall asleep. It is the most boring, uninspired movie. And I'll go one step further. I think Justice League is a better movie than Wonder Woman 84. And I absolutely despise Justice League. I think Justice League is utter trash too. But Wonder Woman 84 edges it out because Wonder Woman 84 just takes the character of Wonder Woman, castrates Wonder Woman completely, makes Wonder Woman the weakest, most uninspiring character, totally drains her of all her warrior, godlike majesty, and just makes her into just another, weakly superhero character that doesn't really amount to much. And it was one of the worst comic book movies ever made, in my opinion. So the fact that now we're hearing all these things about Patty Jenkins' Star Wars being delayed, I'm not surprised. Why would you? What? Why? How could you be Disney and look at Wonder Woman 84 and think Patty's perfect for Star Wars? I don't know what you would, how that would get, how that would garner any kind of success as far as what she is as a filmmaker. Johnny, what are your thoughts on this?
I think that Disney is really missing the script here. I think if they want to do like a squadron-based film about like a group of people that like fly around and kick people's asses, they should look no further than Justin Lin. I mean, how many Fast and Furious movies has that guy made that just sold out the window? I mean, like, why is he not the guy that they got to make Rogue Squadron? I mean, I get that Patty Jenkins is like hipping with it, but I don't think like, ooh, she's gonna make a badass movie about, you know, a rogue squadron. Like, no.
Why? Because she had Captain Kirk playing Steve Trevor in her Wonder Woman movies. The pilot is that the you know, the mentality that Disney had at the time. Like, well, they got Chris Pine. I mean, I don't.
Well, and then the only good part I liked of the film, and it was the stupidest part of the film, but it was at least funny, is when him and Pedro Pascal are slapping each other. They're having a little slap fight. So Chris Pine doesn't even actually do anything tough in the film. His fight consists of him and another silly man bitch slapping each other, like, you know what I mean? So I don't even get that out of it. If you're going to want me to be excited for your Rogue Squadron film, get somebody that makes movies about a Rogue Squadron and, you know, have even what's his name, James Wan would have been a good choice too.
Disney, you want to impress me? Get Steven Spielberg to direct Rogue Squadron for Christ's sake. Get somebody that you like, you know, just do something out of the box here. Patty Jenkins is I don't get her appeal. I feel like as a director, you're really only as good as your last film, in the sense of now of where we are in the age of small theatrical windows and streaming. You don't really have a lot of leeway here.
Well, and she already talked shit about streaming, so it was where she's heading anyways.
Too. Right. That's the other thing too. She has enough nerves to crap all over streaming services. She talked about the most successful streaming service in history, and actually had the nerve to say that Netflix movies are not real movies.
When Snyder and Ayer both make films for them and good movies for them as well.
Scorsese too. Scorsese came in and did that movie for Netflix, and you got some big filmmakers that have come in and done.
Bong Joon-ho. Lots of people have come in, like international hit filmmakers have made films for Netflix. So yeah, it's a real legit company, in my opinion, filmmaking company, and it's where she is probably going to end up getting her next chance from. So I don't understand why she talks the shit she does, but
I know, God forbid you took my Wonder Woman 84 movie and threw it on streaming. God forbid. Like her movie was going to make money. I'm going to tell you the truth. If Wonder Woman 84 was put in theaters and we never had a pandemic, do you know how bad Wonder Woman 84 would have flopped? You guys realize that movie was so horrible that if it would have flopped harder than James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. It would have been horrible. You can't tell me that Patty Jenkins got stock when it comes to these films now. She's just somebody. She needs to go off and make a little independent film and reassess herself as a filmmaker. Because remember, she got that Academy Award for, what was it, Monster?
Yeah.
And she needs to go back and make
Monster. It was with Charlize Theron and Christina Ricci about the lady that killed truckers.
How long ago was this movie?
like 1997, something like
Oh,
that.
that's way too late.
2000,
Then.
year
That's
2000,
way
somewhere
too
on there.
early.
That was
That's
Pat. I
way
think,
too early.
if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Patty Jenkins' directorial debut, I believe, and that was the thing that that set her on a trajectory in Hollywood. But my thing is, yeah, you crapped all over everybody and everything. Patty Jenkins has burned so many bridges. The way she's crapped all over streaming, she backstabbed Snyder. She backstabbed all these people that, essentially helped her with her first Wonder Woman film, which was one of the main reasons why Wonder Woman was such a massive success. And when you go from Wonder Woman to what we got in Wonder Woman 84, you really have to question, the filmmaking qualities of somebody like Patty Jenkins.
Right.
So I don't blame Disney at all for reassessing and saying, you know what? Patty might not be right for this. This project might not be something that we should really be focusing on right now.
Yeah, because really, like, to me, like how people say that, oh, you don't need to ask for help and stuff like that. Like really, to me, like with Army of Thieves, like I'll be honest, I didn't know who Mathis was, until Army of the Dead. Like, probably most likely, like with everyone, I don't think we know who Mathis was, and this really isn't disrespectful to him at all. I'm just really saying that because, like, I didn't know about him at all. I didn't know that he was a director, but I did know that he was popular I did know that he was popular in Germany. So really, I went into Army of Thieves with an open mind, and I did like Army of Thieves like everyone else. But then we get to the backstage stuff, like with social media. I saw people saying that for those that there were a few people who said that they have seen all of his movies prior to Army of Thieves, and they said that they weren't really good. But really, I think the fact that Mathis actually did ask for help with his act and everyone else, I think like with help, I think what we can learn from both Wonder Woman 1984 and Army of Thieves, with how different the genres are, what you can learn from them is Patty didn't ask for help in Wonder Woman 84, but Mathis did ask for help with Army of Thieves. So I think when it comes to like people who really are admitting that they probably aren't good, I think it is really more of a manly thing and more of a courage thing to ask for help. And I think that's why the Russos are actually a pretty good team when it comes to directing, because they're brothers. They know how to stop each other. Like if one Russo doesn't like this idea, the other will admit it. Like it's that sort of thing. So I think when it comes to this Wonder Woman situation with Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman 84, I think that really Patty just needed to ask for help.
Well, not only that, to me, Wonder Woman 84 feels like it was all Patty Jenkins' ego. Like it was all about her. Like she knew the character of Wonder Woman so well that she didn't need anybody. She could do what she wanted. She could fire Zack Snyder's stunt team and bring in a ballet group to do all the stunts for Wonder Woman 84. I could totally see why Disney has got to be looking at her differently, because again, remember, this is the same studio that fired Colin Trevorrow. And the script for Duel of the Fates, the Star Wars movie that Colin Trevorrow wanted to do, is like 10,000 times better than Rise of Skywalker. So if Colin Trevorrow didn't get a chance to direct, and he just came off of had just come off of that successful Jurassic World movie, and then he did another. I think he did another. He did like a little movie in between, and it wasn't very successful. And then he had creative differences with Disney, and they let him go. I don't know. Right now, I feel like Patty Jenkins is one of those directors where her ego is like the size of Texas, and I just feel like, why would you give Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron? I don't care who you get as a director. You want to get somebody that is going to be competent in the material and is going to be a competent director. And with Patty, I just don't see any of that. When you look at Patty, you got to ask yourself, what qualifies this woman to direct a Star Wars film? I don't understand how you see Wonder Woman 84 and say, yeah, that's the woman for Star Wars. That to me is a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because really, like you said earlier when we started this conversation, you mentioned Justin Lin, who did the Fast and Furious franchise. Like, I could really see him actually doing a better Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie with that because you can really say anything about the Fast and Furious franchise as a whole, like how crazy they are and stuff like that. But really, how I see it is that Justin Lin with this Fast and Furious franchise is that he knows that you just can't keep driving forever. Because, like, let's be real. If the Fast and Furious franchise has focused on driving throughout these 9 and going into 10 movies, the Fast and Furious franchise would have been dead a long time ago. So, really, with how I see how crazy Justin Lin is going with this Fast and Furious franchise, I think that he has really been evolving as a director when it comes to his visual style.
Well, here's something that here's a director that I could recommend other than Justin Lin. I don't understand. They've got Deborah Chow, who has directed some of the best episodes of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Why not get Deborah Chow to direct Rogue Squadron? Or Bryce Dallas Howard. She's directed quite a few good episodes of The Mandalorian as well. There's a lot of competent filmmakers out there who have dabbled in the Star Wars universe through The Mandalorian that I think would be capable of doing a great Rogue Squadron movie. But like I say, with Patty, it just seems like it's miscast. Like you're getting Patty Jenkins because she directed Wonder Woman. That's probably the only reason. And then when they saw Wonder Woman 84, everything fell off. And Daniel Martin says Wonder Woman 84 is like some form of PTSD. All eyes were on that movie because of the holiday timing. I don't even want to talk to anybody about that disaster. Double MJ agreed. And Ambassadorial Wing, what's going on, bro? He says, here's the thing. I was willing to give Jenkins a chance to do Rogue Squadron. However, if they are going to do a film in either the Old Republic or High Republic era, then I'll be very happy. Daniel Martin says, hail the Ambassador. The Ambassador also says, the Old Republic era is a favorite of mine, and honestly, I'd rather see stories from that than anything post Rise of Skywalker.
Yes,
it would be interesting. It would be interesting to finally see something Old Republic. I agree with you 100%, Ambassador. And quite frankly, The only thing that I would disagree about with what you said here is giving Patty Jenkins a chance for Rogue Squadron. I don't think Patty Jenkins deserved Rogue Squadron one bit, and I really don't think that she deserved a chance. And I think Disney understands that and knows that the movie would flop. It would fail miserably. It would be horrible.
Right, and this is really something to really think about. Like, I've never really thought about it from this perspective. Like, you know how we talk about Zack Snyder's Justice, how we see Wonder Woman 84, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League? Imagine this. How would you feel if you saw Zack Snyder's Justice League first, in a alternate reality, we saw Zack Snyder's Justice League first, that came out first, and then we got Wonder Woman 2. Like, how weird would that have been? Like, really think about that.
I just find it very, very interesting that they passed on Zack Snyder's idea for a Star Wars movie, and Zack Snyder is over at Netflix about to drop Rebel Moon on us. That's probably going to be the best Star Wars movie that's not a Star Wars movie ever, and yet they went with Patty Jenkins for Rogue One, who can't direct her way out of a paper bag. I don't know. I don't understand how that makes any logical sense. And in reality, you're gonna shoot down an original director. I mean, an original idea by a visionary director like Zack Snyder in Rebel Moon, and you're going to go with Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman 84, for Rogue Squadron of all things. Really?
Really, the reason why I actually did look this up, but like apparently the reason why they turned down Zach's Star Wars movie was because, and I quote, and this is the actual quote, apparently it was too mature for Star Wars.
Sounds like Zack Snyder.
There's a lot of mature comics to come out of Star Wars. If you check out the Dark Horse comics runs for Star Wars, there were some very, very deep stories there, and I think the mistake that Disney continues to make is by not understanding that although you can tell Star Wars stories that are not mature, that are more geared towards children, there's also room for you to tell adult stories. Like, in all honesty, Rogue One was far more adult, was far more mature than what you would expect from Star Wars, and Rogue One was considered very successful and is very highly regarded in the Star Wars fan base. So so for me, I don't understand why you wouldn't want somebody like Zack Snyder to come in and do his thing with Star Wars, knowing that Zack Snyder is like a super uber Star Wars fan, and he's going to do the material justice. I mean, my God, when you think about what Zack is going to do with Rebel Moon, and then you think about Patty Jenkins directing Rogue Squadron, I know what movie I would want to see in the theaters.
Really, I'm waiting for the debate of the sequel of. Really, I'm waiting for the debate of Rey and the lead actress, because like it's gonna be really interesting, because really I've been saying this for a while, that after Rebel Moon comes out, the conversation for sci-fi won't be Star Trek versus Star Wars. It'll be Rebel Moon versus Star Wars.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, for them to say, "Oh, well, what Zack wants to do is too mature," that just tells you right there that it's going to be really good. And you also have to remember that this is Star Wars is a storyline where at the core of it all, it's about space Hitler. So how much more mature do you need things to be? It's just crazy to me.
And
I don't know.
really to me, like I think really the prequels are a lot more mature than what people give it credit for.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely, man.
because
Oh.
like really like you're going through this whole journey of Anakin who starts off with as this hopeful kid.
Not only that, Jeffrey, but watch that Clone Wars cartoon and
Oh yeah.
talk to me about mature.
Oh yeah.
What? I mean, the way they ended that story, you're going to tell me that that wasn't mature? You're going to tell me that wasn't deep? I don't know. I just and Mandalorian definitely too has a more mature air to it. I think Zack Snyder.
Star
I think
Wars
it just came.
levels,
I think
Star
his
Wars levels
idea.
is mature. Like
I think Zach just pitched his idea a little bit too early to Disney. I think they
yeah.
weren't ready. I think if he were to pitch it now, Disney would probably jump on it. I think it was probably at a time when they still didn't really know what the hell they were doing, and they
Yeah.
kind of were struggling. But I don't know. Dropping
Yeah.
or delaying Patty Jenkins' Star Wars movie, I think, is a good idea. And
Yeah.
Daniel Martin says, agree with that, Ambassador, on Rogue Squadron. For some reason, I just thought that movie was never going to happen. Yeah, I kind of thought the movie was never going to happen the moment Patty Jenkins' name was attached to it. Double MJ says Zack Snyder is the one who cast Gal, who admitted that he saved her movie career, made Wonder Woman into a badass. Patty never wanted Gal in the first place and made her so weak that she got owned by wind. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how does that work? Like you take on Ares, the literal god of war, then you take on Doomsday, but then in this one little instance in 1984, you couldn't handle wind. like when you put everything into context, it really doesn't make any sense.
No, it's ridiculous. And we got Igor here in the chat. What's up, Igor? He says I'd rather have Catherine Bigelow than Patty. Okay, all right. And
Right.
the ambassador says the old Republic films don't even have to focus on Raven. They can tell any story they want in that era with any group of characters they want. That's
Yep.
absolutely true. Double MJ says the Russos are overrated, and Igor agrees with Double MJ. And Daniel Martin says, "Hey Igor, Catherine Bigelow all the way." And Ambassador says it is also possible that the executives took a second look at the landscape and considered going back in the timeline of Star Wars and felt that doing an felt on doing an old Republic story instead of Rogue Squadron. Well, I think they just dropped the Rogue Squadron idea altogether because of who they had behind the helm. To tell you the truth,
Yeah.
they had Patty Jenkins, so it was easy to scrap the story
Right.
altogether
Right.
because
Because
Patty's not popular right now. So
yeah, because right now, Ambassador, like I get what you're saying about the old Republic thing, but until we know what Kevin Feige's who, until we know about who Kevin Feige slash Chloe Zhao's um, Star Wars movie is going to be about, like all we can say right now is because it's probably because of Wonder Woman 2.
I think so. All right, and the next topic I wanted to talk about tonight, guys, is the Eternals movie. Is the Marvel Eternals movie underrated? Now, I still haven't seen it, but all the things I'm hearing about Eternals, I'm hyped, and I think it sounds good to me. The more I hear about it now, have either of you, Jeffrey, Johnny, seen the Eternals yet?
No, I
No,
haven't.
I haven't seen it, but from everybody I trust, everybody I listen to, I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, me too.
And I know that it's very critically well received and it's making money. So I don't think
I mean,
underrated
it's
would be a
not
good term for
critically.
it, but at all, I don't see how it could be because I've heard some hate because of one certain scene, But aside from that, aside from the general outrage that everybody expected because of what the story was going to be kind of broaching, I don't think that the movie is getting any hate at all. I think that
Yeah,
it's pretty well
I don't
loved
think.
from what I see.
Yeah, I
Go
don't
ahead.
think it's really getting any hate at all. And I think it really, and really, I think that I really, from what I've heard, is from a lot of people that go into specifics about the movie. Like the people that I've seen that hate the movie say the same song, like, oh, it's a boring, kind of dull, it goes on forever, that sort of thing. But the people who actually go on specifics, like saying like how good it is visually and is saying like how good the story is and how rich it is, like they like people that I've actually talked to, like the people that have actually liked it have really gone into specifics saying that yeah, it's really good.
I'm excited because allegedly Zack Snyder's Justice League exists in the Eternals timeline. I'm telling you guys, they're setting up that Marvel versus DC scenario. They're setting it up. I'm getting, the more allegedly, it's not just from what I had heard initially, it was Superman who was referenced in Eternals, but from what I'm hearing, apparently it's not just Superman. Justice League is also the Justice League is also referenced in this film, and that to me is huge. That is huge to based off of what I've been saying this entire time, which is that Marvel versus DC is going to happen within the next 5 years. I've been saying it. I've been saying it for a while, and I just think that if this Eternals movie is essentially getting us conditioned for a possible cinematic concept of Marvel and DC combining. That's kind of cool. So I don't know. I'm hyped. I haven't seen Eternals yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to watching the movie. I've read a lot of negative reviews, which is why I said, is it underrated? And I can honestly say all the negative reviews have made me want to see it more
Yeah,
because I've heard the director said a lot of great things about Zach and about Justice League and about all the about Superman and about the about how Zack Snyder's Superman inspired the Eternals. And I mean, there's
yeah,
so much
right,
so much so much to be excited about. I'm like looking forward to this movie. I already know I'm going to be a fan of this movie. This is probably going to end up being my favorite MCU movie from all the things that I'm hearing. Um, Marcus Cruz says Patty Jenkins is a good director. She just needs the right team on a
yes,
stunt team. She can direct that. Yeah, she can. She can direct, sure, but
yeah, like
she
anyone,
hasn't shown it.
like
She hasn't shown it recently.
yeah,
Uh,
like that's the thing, really. Like when people say, "Oh, people can do this," it was like whenever I hear someone say something like, "Oh, yeah, they can direct," and I was like, and my immediate response is, "Okay, yeah, they can correct direct, but can they direct good movies?" Like that's really my question. Is like anyone can direct. Like if I say, "Hey, can you make me a sandwich?" and you say, "And you can make me a sandwich," but can you make a good sandwich? It's like that sort of thing, you know?
yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. It's like you do, I'm looking at that and I'm looking at all of these, all of these concepts and all these things that again people are saying about Patty and stuff, and it's like, well, I think she needs to go back to just doing smaller films and
Yeah.
take a step back and see what happens. But that moves us on to the main topic I wanted to talk about,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was that Tom Holland, little Iron Boy Jr., has said essentially that the new Spider-Man film is brutal. He said it's not fun. He said it's a brutal film. So
I'll
my
see
question to
that.
you guys is, does this mean that Tom Holland's Spider-Man dies in this movie? What happens in
No,
this movie that he's claiming that this movie is brutal?
I
They
will say
probably
this.
do kill him off and bring in Miles Morales. That would be great, and that would make his little bitch ass cry because that's the type of little turd he is.
This is really what I think about this whole situation. Like, I do think that we are going to see Gwen Stacy die again, and possibly MJ from Toby's universe. But really, my thing is, if they really do want to go the ultimate route, like they already teased Miles Morales with the Prowler showing up in Homecoming. So really, really, my hope is that Tom Holland Spider-Man does die, but and then that's when we get the Miles Morales trilogy.
This is what I was thinking. What if all the Spider-Men get killed off, and at the end, the only one, the one that you have is Miles Morales. Miles Morales is introduced at the end of this film, and all of the other Spider-Men from all the different timelines has been wiped out, and this is who you have. That would be brutal. It really would. Now that would actually fall in line with the word brutal and actually would make more sense from a from a cinematic perspective. I mean, are we actually looking at a a sort of Spider-Man Wrath of Khan kind of thing here, where essentially all of these villains are going to band together and be responsible for literally wiping out every Spider-Man from the multiverse and leaving us with only one Spider-Man at the end of it all? I don't know.
I mean, this is what I've heard. I've heard that the runtime for No Way Home is very resemblant of Endgame. That's what I've heard. So with that runtime, I think we could get a lot of Miles Morales.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, if they really do give us Miles Morales in this movie, and they've managed to keep that part a secret, that's actually pretty compelling at this point in this day and age, with all the leaks and stuff that we've seen from this movie already.
Yeah, especially with John Campia.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah, that was really something else.
Yeah. Koopy Malik, brutality. Yeah, brutality.
Like really, I think that with all the leaks coming out, I think that if this really is supposed to be brutal, I think it really would make sense to kill all of the past Spider-Man from Tom Holland to Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield. I think that it would be a great end to the past Spider-Man trilogies, like all of the past Spider-Man, and then really pass the torch to Miles Morales, because if this is supposed to be because obviously Kevin Feige is going for like a live action Spider-Verse vibe with this movie, and I could really see Kevin Feige kind of like giving 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 Miles Morales the torch of Spider-Man in this.
Yeah, yeah, I could totally see that as well. Um, I'm, I don't know, Johnny. What do you think, man?
Like I said, I don't know. I mean, he's probably just crying because they're not going to replace him as Spider-Man soon. He's a very egotistical little actor, so I guarantee you this, he's acting out. He's known for it anyways. A lot of the guys at the Marvel studio don't really like him, so I don't know what he's talking about, and I'm not really super interested in the movie anyways. If they kill off all the other Spider-Man and pass the torch on to him, I don't think that would be a great ending for any Spider-Man. And yeah, I don't know. I could just tell you that the more I hear about this movie, the more I'm just kind of like, can we go back to talking about the Eternals? Because I at least don't know anything about that movie, and it sounds
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Eternals does. Eternals sounds super cool, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it. I'm definitely on the hype train for Eternals. And yeah, and I have a feeling it's going to be. I just have this strong feeling it's going to be the best MCU movie uh, to date. It's my feeling on it. Uh, Double MJ says killing off Toby and Andrew's Spider Man would be brutal. Wouldn't be brutal. It would be insulting.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
especially with all the fan movements for the director's cuts of what the web cut of the Amazing Spider-Man movies and the hashtag release the web cut movement that's going on as well for Spider-Man 3. I think it would be a bad move to do. That could be seen as a bad move to do, especially with the height of both Spider-Man cut movements. So yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah. And Bat Dan says breaking news: Patty is stepping down from Wonder Woman 3, and Zack Snyder's taking over as director. Now, you know what? I don't want Zack Snyder to direct Wonder Woman 3. I don't want them to make Wonder Woman 3 at all. Scrap Wonder Woman 3.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
need to make Wonder Woman 3. They need to just take Patty and her universe and shove her into the Phantom Zone because there's really no point right now. After Wonder Woman 84, the last thing I want to see is another Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
Unless whatever they do with Wonder Woman follows up the Snyder cut and not Wonder Woman 84.
84.
Yeah.
Especially with Linda Carter coming back, like I get a yippee with that, but it's like really
I don't know. I'm
does
still of the
it
mind that if it just ends up being Linda Carter and Gal Gadot isn't even in it, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be a period piece with Linda Carter.
then why call it Wonder Woman 3?
It'll be well. It's just called Wonder Woman 3 now, but it'll probably have its own
Okay.
title.
This is
Like
what they could do, and it would be the best move DC could make at this moment. They do get Zack Snyder back, and they adapt Daniel Warren Johnson's Wonder Woman Dead Earth, which is basically Wonder Woman gets awoken in this post apocalyptic hellscape. And it's one of the best books DC Black Label's put out. Now, if they do that as for Wonder Woman 3, with Linda Carter as old ass Warrior Woman, post apocalyptic Wonder Woman, that would be fucking badass.
Yeah.
Directed by Zack Snyder? Yeah, hell yes. Make that film.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
that would be dope. That would be dope. And essentially, you could sort of adapt that kind of, in like a nightmare, a nightmare Mad Max
I
landscape,
mean,
like
or
what Snyder was going for.
this could actually work better in that sense because it goes into the Greek mythology of it, where you see in Zack Snyder's Justice League in Cyborg's Nightmare Vision, you see Wonder Woman dead and in the pyre. So basically, how now I don't know the specifics of Greek mythology death, but basically what happens that is that Wonder Woman is actually with her weapons going to Hades, the realm of the dead, and it could actually be there could actually be a whole movie of Wonder Woman in the underworld trying to get back to the land of the living by taking on Hades. So that I think that would be a pretty metal Wonder Woman movie, like Wonder Woman going through this hellscape in for a entire movie.
Or it could be like Bat Dan says here, Wonder Woman 3 will be Wonder Woman 2020 and we'll have people wearing COVID masks.
No, they won't. Like, because 1984 had like the worst representation in the 80s ever. I bet
Yeah,
you anything.
it
Like,
really
if she
did.
was to make a movie to try to take place in 2020, like they won't even mention COVID, dude. Like they'll pretend like everybody will be dancing in the streets and making out and holding hands and stuff. All the stuff that like nobody did.
It'll be like Patty Jenkins like take on like a Bollywood film. Gal Gadot will be singing Imagine by John Lennon. And it'll just be like completely, it'll be like that movie, that Ewan McGregor movie, Across the Universe, or
yeah, the
or
one with the Beatles songs.
Moulin Rouge, one of them, where it'll be that's what it'll be. Wonder Woman the musical. Yes, there you go. Wonder Woman the musical. That way she could bring back her ballet dancer stunt team, and yeah. In fact, they could all wear skates and they can do the movie on ice. What do you think?
I mean, it would be consistent.
Right. I mean, you would have almost like it would give us a little bit of that Batman and Robin vibe, you know.
That's what I was gonna say. Bring back Clooney's Batman for this one, man.
Yeah, and you could have him, and you could have Clooney sing while he promotes his alcohol label, and you could have all kinds of little musical cues, and you could have Superman singing about getting shot with a kryptonite bullet and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, it makes sense because in the comics, and there was one comic where Superman actually sang and killed the dark side. Yes, that comic does actually exist. I see you guys like quiet on that, but yeah, that comic does exist where Superman does kill someone by singing.
Well, he does got loud voice, right? I mean, if he wanted to, he could probably like destroy the earth by yelling. Like, he's like that stupid strong with like most of his powers.
Well, that's why his scream when he was killed by Doomsday, his scream was powerful enough to wake the mother boxes. I mean,
shh, the mother boxes are sleeping.
Exactly, and you know, but that's what I want to see. I want to see Patty Jenkins essentially do like a Bollywood musical version of Wonder Woman 3. I think that would be more along her lines, like High School Musical meets Wonder Woman. Yeah, that would work. That would be I would see that, I would watch, because that actually would be more, you know, in line with what Patty's capable of directing. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, you can even get, you know, Linda Carter can come out in her you know, skimpy American flag Wonder Woman costume that she wore in the 70s, and you know, and they could even bring back the old Wonder Woman theme, Wonder Woman. I mean, you know, that kind of thing. It could totally work. To be fair, I think maybe, and that's something we also have to think about too. If they were to make another Wonder Woman movie, and Patty Jenkins directs it, and let's just say Gal Gadot isn't in it, I can almost guarantee that Linda Carter is going to play a version of the old Wonder Woman from the '70s TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's honestly the movie that Patty Jenkins has wanted to make all along.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
she got saddled with Gal, the woman she didn't want in the first place.
Yeah, because we really did see a taste of that in Wonder Woman 2 the whole entire time.
Yeah, I think that's what that movie wanted to be, basically. It was kind of like, how the Incredible Hulk movie wanted to be like the old 70s show? I think that's what Patty Jenkins tried to do, but she didn't come close.
You mean the Ed Norton one?
Yeah, that one. The guy really wanted it to be like the old TV show, and he really nailed it. If you watch the old Bill Bixby show, the movie has a lot of callbacks to it that he put in there, and they were really carefully part of the film.
Yeah, they even had little bits of that theme in it too, of the theme music from the old '70s Bill Bixby Hulk. That was dope, man. I mean, when I remember seeing the trailer and they had a little bit of that Lonely Man theme thrown in there, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's what we need. But no, I don't know. I'm all Wonder Woman'd out. They're gonna have to do something really special to get me on board for another Wonder Woman movie. Katsuka says it's weird to think about replacing Affleck with Keaton, Carter with Godot. Well, no, it sounds like they'll replace. They'll replace.
It's all about nostalgia,
Gadot.
man.
Right.
All about the nostalgia.
Nostalgia is what sells.
I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Brothers tried to deepfake Superman with Christopher Reeve at this point.
Get that Disney technology, just get some guy to get Brandon Ralph to try to do his best. Matt Reeves,
you know they're gonna do that. You know they're gonna CGI. You know they're gonna CGI deep fake Christopher Reeve at some point. You know they're gonna bring him back, Jeffrey. You know it's inevitable because you got all these people. Christopher Reeve is my Superman. Christopher Reeve is the only man ever who could ever play Superman. And now with the digital technology, they could do that. They could bring him back to life, and they could literally have a computer, sound alike to emulate his voice, and essentially we could have Christopher Reeve movies from now till the end of time.
Yeah,
I really see them doing that at some point. Once it's all said and done, they're like, oh, well, we're moving on from Henry Cavill. Superman is going to be digital, just like James Dean. We're going to make Superman digital, and and we're going to make the real world's finest movie with Michael Keaton, and we're going to resurrect Christopher Reeve. Oh, okay. Okay, so no actors allowed to rest in peace now. We got to resurrect Christopher Reeve from the grave to appease all you mouth breathing fanboys that can't get over 1978. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just it's inevitable though. We know it's going to happen. And here's the thing, where I could really see them doing that too, if they were to do a Kingdom Come adaptation.
Oh boy.
If they make that technology, I hope they just make it so you could put whatever actor you want in that role. So I'm thinking about Bruce Lee as Superman. How cool that would be. Or Sonny Chiba. Superman telling Batman, don't think, feel.
Yeah,
we need emotional content.
We get I mean, you could I mean, this is the thing. It's like you guys have been saying, it's all about nostalgia. So essentially, if you can resurrect any dead actors for modern cinema, you really don't have, you really don't have to ever use anybody else. You just, as long as you get the rights from the dead actor or actress's estate, you can essentially just keep bringing them back perpetually for movie after movie now.
Yeah, so Yeah, so speaking of, so I guess since we're done with the negative stuff, like, did you guys see Jared Leto's interview that came out today?
No.
No.
Oh, so basically, so so basically, like, let's just say that Jared Leto really went off on this whole thing on people saying on the whole haircut thing and really on WB as a whole, where basically there was an actual quote where he said that he said that he did send people gifts, but it wasn't really out of like ill intent. There was no used condoms and stuff like that. But he also said something along the lines of like he said that basically I play the Joker. It's okay to play a few jokes, and it's not. And I didn't say anything that crossed the line. And to people who said that I crossed the line on social media or whatever, they can kiss my butt. So, and that's really what he said. So yeah, that was pretty funny. and and Jared Leto also confirmed that they really did film everything on the air cut. So everything that has been filmed from beginning to end.
Well, we know that uh, the air cut is pretty much ready to go. All they got to do is release it.
Yeah,
Um,
because David Ayer said that it's pretty much 95% done. Just need the visual effects done on some. Just need the VFX done on a few things, and it's pretty much ready to go.
well, I mean, the good news with that is that we know we'll eventually see it.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of time now. I feel like after the merger and all that, we'll get the movie. Marcus Cruz says Zod and Johnny, imagine Millie Bobby Brown with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt in Fantastic Four. I could see the chemistry and the family dynamic with the three. Man, perfect casting. Okay.
No.
Marcus, they ought to just hire you as they ought to just hire you as casting director for Fantastic Four.
what if they do Anna Taylor Joy as Sue?
That'd be cool.
I'm still stuck with Leonardo DiCaprio now. I'm thinking of like might as well get Danny DeVito for the Human Torch, and we get Jack Nicholson as the Thing, and just get all little short little fat dudes to play.
Well, yeah, well, not only that, you could if you need them to be a little bit younger, you just use digital technology. You don't even need to bring the actor in. You can get a young Jack Nicholson. I mean, hell, if they want to now, if they really want to they want to bring they can do a Shining sequel with a young Jack Nicholson. They can
They can do it with Leonardo DiCaprio, in my opinion. He looks
I
enough
mean, they
like him
did
at this
do-
point. I mean,
I
he'd
mean,
have to
they
lose
did
some
do-
weight, but I mean, he looks like Jack in the '70s, kind of now. So, in my opinion,
yeah, why
I
not?
mean, they did do the Shining sequel.
Yeah.
It's Doctor Sleep.
Yeah,
Which, did you guys see the director's cut of that?
yeah, yeah. It was interesting to say the least. I found it to be a fascinating movie, but
Yeah,
I
yeah. The funny thing is that movie came out on my birthday. When it was that movie's release date was on my birthday, so that's pretty fun.
that's cool. That's cool. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the digital recreation of actors. When you can digitally recreate actors and actresses for these films, you literally now have no excuses about anything. I mean, technically Disney, if they wanted to, They could continue the Black Panther franchise with Chadwick Boseman because they've got digital technology. For like from now till, because the digital technology only gets better with time. It doesn't get
Yeah, because
worse.
we saw how it looked with young Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and that looked pretty good.
And
Like
it's look,
like
and they've had it looking good since Tron 2. When Jeff Bridges first showed up in that, I was like,
Oh
"What?
yeah.
How'd they do that?" You know, that was like the craziest, coolest thing I'd seen ever. Like now it's kind of played. Now it's like whatever, they do that and everything. But when Tron 2 came out and you saw like young Jeff Bridges is like, "Hey, come hang out with me, kid,"
Well,
I
I
was
mean,
like,
they even de-aged Samuel L. Jackson for Captain Marvel. Remember, they
yeah,
de-aged him, and that looked convincing too. I mean, you really could. That's why I'm saying I don't see. There's no limits now as far as digital actor recreation. I mean, you're only limited, I guess, by your imagination at this point.
yeah, because we do know that because yeah, really we do know that he because really like that's really the thing. Like we have so much technology and stuff that really the only thing that can limit you now is your imagination, which really we know Zach has a plenty of because really like with the whole evolution of the zombie genre, like if you were to tell me 10 years ago we would get a zombie movie where we would get a zombie heist film that would kickstart a whole new zombie genre franchise with portals, aliens, Norse mythology, I really would have called you crazy, but here we are with really just with Zach's imagination. So really, I think yeah, the only thing that can limit you now with the technology we have for movies, or really just technology in general, I think the only thing that can limit us is our imagination.
So, what do you guys think that means for the future of film at this point, with all these superhero movies? I mean, how long do you think it's going to be before we see Christopher Reeve back as Superman?
I would say 5 years.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you 100%. Like 5 years, maybe.
they'll
Yeah,
try it out in animation first. I think they'll do like an kind of a more animated version, have it kind of look like What If, but a little more realistic. And then I think if that tests well, then they'll do it live action.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, especially now because they're continuing those old storylines in the comics. I mean, they're doing Batman '89 and they're doing Superman '78 in the comics.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
so I think
right.
they're so I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to set us up for that
Yeah.
possibility, and then bringing Michael Keaton back. They can just de-age Michael Keaton for future movies in the Batman '89 universe. I mean, it's so like,
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the first trailer we see, like the first actual full trailer of the Flash, like not a teaser or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if the first look at that we have of Michael Keaton's face that we get in the Flash movie, I wouldn't be surprised if they use the de aging on that.
yeah, me either, me either. I mean, it's inevitable. It's
Yeah,
inevitable at this point. We have to. I mean, it just. I mean, they've got so many. Why wouldn't they use those tools, especially if the rumors are true again that there a lot of people are saying, oh well, the plan is for Michael Keaton to take over as Batman for the DCEU moving forward. So if that's the case, then they're going to have to de-age Michael Keaton because Michael Keaton is getting up there, and he's getting a little long in the tooth. So the idea that you're going to have Michael Keaton as the DCEU Batman for the foreseeable future. Yeah, you're gonna have to de-age the guy and make him look a little more, a little younger, just a little bit anyway. But I
Yeah.
don't know, man. You just make these actors look they're perpetually 30, and you'll have the everybody's perpetually 30, and you can just keep making these movies.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's interesting. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to in future shows. We'll have to talk a little more about the whole concept of de-aging actors in movies, and how much and what type of movies you got, what kind of sequels you guys would like to see, with actors returning from the grave or just de-aged, because there's a lot of things that they can do with this technology. I mean, I don't even know, if when we talk about morality and ethics with this is Hollywood. They don't have any of that anyway. So, I mean, it's all about let's just make that money. Everything else be damned. It's all about money. So if we can make money by digging up Bill Bixby and bringing him back for a new adaptation of the Incredible Hulk, we're going to do it because we can make the money. And Disney owns everything, and Disney has that technology. So why not? I mean, it's just, I don't know. Nobody will rest in peace. We'll be watching movies, because I know they dug up a while ago. They talked about how they dug up James Dean's bones for another movie, for some sort of war movie. They cast James Dean in the film, and they did like a digital recreation. I forget the name of the movie, but they did a digital recreation. I don't know when the movie's coming out, but James Dean is completely computer generated.
Wow.
And he's got the lead role. He's got the lead role in the movie.
It's starting, guys. It's starting.
Yeah. So that's why I say I don't. This is why I say, all these people that can't get over 1978. You're gonna get that. They're gonna resurrect Christopher Reeve eventually, and I think Jeffrey's prediction of about 5 years is right. I mean, hell, maybe when they make that Marvel versus DC movie, they won't even use Henry Cavill. They'll use a digitally recreated Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, and really, I can't wait for the people's reaction to this, because I'm telling you right now.
Oh, there it is. Finding Jack. That's the James Dean movie.
I'm telling you right now, when that happens and people are gonna say, "Oh man, this is horrible. Why did they do this?" I'm really just gonna make a video of me having a sip of coffee in the typical Zack Snyder T-shirt, with just saying, basically with the caption, "I told you so." like that's really what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make a simple video of me drinking coffee with the caption, "I told you so."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the movie is called Finding Jack, and James Dean is the star in the film. He is going to be the wonder when it's coming out, though. Should be done by now. Yeah, probably in a couple of years. James Dean's Digital Resurrection. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where, like, it doesn't surprise me, because again, it's all about money. It's all about gimmicks in Hollywood, because again, there's no creativity anymore and there's no originality. So if we can just resurrect dead actors, we can make any sequels, any movies we want now.
Yeah, because really, like with it, because really, like once again, like I feel like really James, like I really do feel like with these franchises and stuff that there's really only a hand few directors that are actually focusing on original ideas. Like even with Zach, for example, with Rebel Moon, it was originally supposed to be a Star Wars movie, but since Lucasfilm turned it down, Zach basically said, "You know what? I know that that Lucasfilm turned me down on this Star Wars movie I wanted to do, but you know what? I think I'm gonna make it my a original IP to do my own take of the movie. You know, I think it's really that sort of thing, like where Hollywood really does lack originality, and there's only like a there a handful of handful of people that take can really take care of such original IP.
Yeah, yeah, and we've got Sweet Sonia G in the chat. She says, "Hey guys in chat, just wanted to stop in and say hi. I hope everybody is doing well. I miss you guys. Hope you are doing well. Also, Sonia, hope you had a great night skating tonight, and that everything is going awesome for you. And at this moment, it's just like." Wow, I mean, I can't believe it. We got through all the topics tonight, all the main topics I wanted to talk about. We touched on everything, and then we got into the idea of digital recreation, and I think that was cool. So I don't know, guys. I'm really happy with how tonight's show turned out. Uh, Daniel
Mm-hmm.
Martin says I'm all good on nostalgia. Seems like they've done the '80s and the '90s to death. Nostalgia has come first. The plot idea of the movie is second or non-existent. I completely agree.
I Daniel, I do agree with that, but I think the perfect balance that I think the only show that really has done the perfect balance of that is Cobra Kai. I think they really have done I think they really have given the nostalgia and the I really do think they've given the nostalgia and new stuff a perfect balance where it really does make it still seem fresh for for new people coming into the Karate Kid franchise and the original fans that are coming into Cobra Kai. So I think the people who created Cobra Kai are really handling nostalgia and the new stuff very well.
And you know what? It's so funny because I was actually thinking about ending the show right now, but we can't end the show because we've got another special guest in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than the one Andrew Casale joining the ZodWriter Show live panel today. Johnny, we are lucky to be joined by Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Casale, welcome to the
Pizza time.
ZodWriter Show. What's up, man?
Not much.
Oh, come on, dude. Aren't you excited? There's a new Spider-Man movie coming out, bro.
Oh, and by the way, the the part you said in your title video, I read that article. Tom said that people don't believe me when I said that the guy on my profile isn't it, but they're gonna have to believe me soon.
Well, you know what? Everybody's in this movie. Even Andrew Casale is in this movie.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I know for a fact you're in the movie. I seen a little snippet on the John Campea show, and you were running around with web shooters. I saw it.
No, John
Dude.
Campbell only showed those two leaks.
That was you, bro.
Do you need me to pull up the two leaks John Campbell showed?
I mean, listen. Did you see the leaks, Johnny, with Andrew Casale?
I try not to watch John Campea take leaks, man. It's not my.
Okay. Okay. And Daniel Martin says, agreed, Jeffrey. Cobra Kai has done well, and the nostalgia is in the background for the most part, not the forefront. Yeah. Cobra Kai, and the reason why Cobra Kai is able to balance everything out so well is the fact that it's made by people who are actual fans of the Karate Kid franchise on a level that is unparalleled. These guys were like Karate Kid fanatics, so they weren't going to make something that wasn't good and didn't make sense. And if you ask me, they've done a perfect job blending with each season. I don't know. Do you watch Cobra Kai, Andrew?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. And Jesse Allen says Andrew must be hyped at the leak. Are you hyped, Andrew? Are you excited for the leaks for Spider-Man? I mean, does it get you more hyped up or what, or less?
I mean, it's Tobey Maguire and Charlie Cox is Daredevil.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What if Charlie Cox's Daredevil dies?
After, I don't know.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think they're going to kill off Charlie Cox because they're going to want to use him for Daredevil for other MCU projects. They'll probably keep him around for a while. Isn't he just going to be? Isn't he just going to be Spider-Man's lawyer in the movie anyway? I mean, is he really suiting up as Daredevil?
That's the rumor right now. But hey, he might show up for the fight against Doc Ock and Green Goblin.
No, they said that he wasn't going to suit up.
Oh,
yeah.
He needs to suit up. Damn it! It's Charlie Cox, Daredevil, the most amazing MCU character. I hope he suits up. I hope he does. At least for one scene.
They said he's going to be Peter's lawyer. That's it.
Yeah. Which Peter? There's going to be several Peters in this movie.
Tom Holland's lawyer.
Oh, okay. Double MJ says nostalgia is one of DC's biggest enemies.
Yes.
And Marcus Cruz says Zod and Johnny, don't forget Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue
Cushing.
One. Yeah, the actor was resurrected using digital age and a guy who looks like him. Yeah, it was done great in Rogue One. Rogue One was another example. Like, if you really look at him, the only way that you like, the only thing there were a few things off about him, just a little bit, like mannerism wise, but technically, you know,
the faces was great.
Yeah. When you look at it, you do see Peter Cushing, and you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And Rel McMillan, what's up? Rel says, Andrew, stop playing. We all saw the leaks. We all saw the leaks of you. See, we all know you were there with the web shooters. Yes,
I was home the whole time.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what you would say, wouldn't it be? I mean, like, honestly, like, what? That's the classic. I was at home. Like, the cops don't even believe that when people say it. Come on, dude. Like, better alibi. We need numbers. We need friends' names. We need, actual addresses, man. Like, I was at home sleeping. Like, you ain't gonna get off in court with that shit, Andrew. We know it was you. We saw you in the leaks.
Well, get your eyes fixed.
Yes, we saw you in the leaks.
Daniel Martin. Glasses.
yes. Daniel Martin says if he's just Matt Murdock the whole movie, I could see them doing that. Though. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I feel like they could, they might do that just to tease us, because they know that we want to see more of Charlie Cox as Daredevil. So making him just a lawyer, just a Matt Murdock. I don't know. Just seeing him in the film, though, is going to be cool. To see him on the big screen. God, where are we here? Double MJ says, I wouldn't be surprised if they kill off Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, which would piss me off. I think they're going to kill off all the Spider-Men. I really do. think at the end of it, all we're gonna have is Miles Morales. I'm convinced.
Yeah, I can really see that. I can really see that.
There you go. Katsuka92 says Andrew Casale equals Andrew Garfield. There you go.
I don't have long hair like he does.
No, but you are an authentic looking Spider-Man, Andrew. You look just like the original Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man from the original comics. Dude, you're the comic book accurate Spider-Man, Andrew.
No, I am not.
All Spider-Man dead. Andrew's worst nightmare.
Actually, my worst nightmare is this guy leaving.
Yeah, well, as long as Bully Maguire has some great scenes, we'll be in good shape. And I really hope that scene is in there where Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker tells Tom Holland, with great power comes great responsibility.
And then teaches him how to dance.
Yeah, exactly. And they play Fever and basically recreate that whole scene from Spider-Man 3. That'd be awesome.
But dancing is how they beat Doc Ock.
Guys, I want to
That's a good idea, man. Like Dance Revolution, Doc Ock.
Yeah, that'd be great. And not only that, I want and expect, because this is having so much from the Spider-Man multiverse, I want to see Bruce Campbell. He's got to have a cameo.
Yeah, I'd have him play Tombstone. He'd be good as Tombstone.
Yeah,
I think they should just go all out and have him be Ash. I mean,
I just have Tom Holland shopping at S-Mart and like have him help him find something really fast, like try to buy a shotgun or a chainsaw or something. Here you go.
What if Joe Manganiello's Flash meets with Tom Holland's Bully Flash?
You know what? I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see any of these characters in the movie. I mean, you got to feel like they're just going balls to the wall, just throwing everybody in the mix, and it's not going to matter. I feel like they just want to give us. This movie is like, sounds to me like it's going to be the very definition of nostalgia.
Yeah,
like you're gonna be able to actually look up the word nostalgia, and they're gonna show like a picture of all the Spider-Men together.
They're trying to outdo Ready Player One, basically.
Right, exactly. In fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, Hammond, the guy that played the Spider-Man in the '70s TV show, he was interviewed. And he said in an interview that he wasn't asked to be in this movie, but he wished that he would have been asked to be in it. I think he was. I bet you he's in the movie. Because why are they talking to him? He's probably in the film. I mean, it's like, okay, you might as well do that. And not only that, you better have the Japanese Spider-Man in there too. They need to just go all out. We need to see everybody in this thing.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And I want Nicolas Cage. I want Nicolas Cage Spider-Man too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
have him play Spider-Man Noir, like right out of the animated movie. Just put him in the leather mask with the goggles and have him talk that noir shit, and like that would be excellent.
And Daniel Martin says, "That's pretty good, Johnny S-Mart cameo." Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I want that to happen so bad. Where he finally plays Ash in a Spider-Man movie. He's been Ash this entire time, but it's just he can finally be at the S-Mart. It'd be cool. 90s animated Spider-Man. Yeah, they might as well have 90s animated Spider-Man in there too. And have the video game, the PlayStation Spider-Man in there as well. Just everybody. I mean, you really want to. I expect to see anime Spider-Man. You want to have everybody properly represented.
Like Porky Pig Spider-Man.
Yeah. Like like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of visual effect where he's in like the real world, but he's still a cartoon. That kind of thing, like Space Jam.
Yeah, Space Jam 1.
Yeah. And I'm really, and this is why I'm excited for this Spider-Man movie, just to see all of the various cameos and all the various characters that they're going to throw into this film. I mean, because you got to figure that they're just going to pull out all the stops. It's going to be like one big. This is going to be like Spider-Man nostalgia porn. That's what's gonna. I expect to see the porn parody Spider-Man in there too. All of them.
It's gonna be Spider-Man the season pass edition. That's essentially what it's gonna be.
Spider-Man Home of Nostalgia, since they got to work home into all the names. That's what they should call it.
Yeah,
Homo Nostalgia.
I really don't give a
I didn't say that, dude.
Well, they gotta have the porn parody Spider-Man in there too. Okay. Oh my God, so many Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, yeah, so many different ones. Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, more web slinging than you could possibly handle. That should be the tagline of the movie.
How trippy would it be if Ben Affleck's Daredevil appeared?
I thought about that. That would be dope. You see,
I would hope if he does show up, I hope it would be so he could give Charlie Cox his outfit, because that would make Charlie Cox actually the perfect Daredevil, is if he had Ben Affleck's outfit, because sadly, like, the Daredevil show outfit never got as cool as the movie outfit did. And that's the only reason why I would like to see Ben Affleck's Daredevil maybe show up. Just be like, here, kid, dress cool for once.
That would be neat.
Yeah, that would be neat.
I mean,
you
just
can hate on that film all you want, but his outfit was badass. Like the way the cowl fit on his head and shit.
And the reason why I say that is because I think also it would just be a really cool scene to kind of see Charlie Cox's Daredevil team up with Ben Affleck's Daredevil, especially with since we've now seen the warehouse scene and the hallway scene in the Daredevil show. I think it would be a pretty cool action scene to see with Charlie Cox's Daredevil and Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Well, I can flat out say, man, Ben Affleck got robbed. He could have been an amazing Daredevil if they had somebody who took the film seriously directed. He did not play Daredevil bad. He was in a bad film. Like, he's like Val Kilmer. Or it's still a bad film, dude. Like, Coolio might be in it, and it might have a slightly longer fight at Josie's at the beginning, but the director's cut's terrible. But the thing is Ben Affleck, he played Matt Murdock exceptionally well. He played Daredevil pretty good. It's just the wire stunts, like, we were so terrible at them in Hollywood films at the time that nobody was doing them good. But I think that with today's technology and with a good action director, he could have probably, like, ruled the character.
Oh, yeah.
I mean? Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Ralph McMillan says porn parody Spider. Yep. Porn parody Spider-Man. Just wait till Campia to tell us to check out porn parody Parker's Web Slinger. Yep. Pornhub Spider-Man. Yeah.
John Campia will probably play Porn Cub Spider-Man, dude.
Porn Cub Spider-Man. Oh, God. That is awesome. I love it. Prime, what's up? Prime the Godfather says, what's good, gentlemen? Chilling with wifey. Will attend next show, Zod. Well, thank you, Prime. Can't wait to have you on the next live open panel that we do. These are always so much fun. I love these shows. Rel, yeah, Rel McMillan. The you know, there's so many things that they can do because again, this Spider-Man movie is all about again the multiverse. So
Okay, I'm back.
well,
You
I'm
left?
glad. I'm glad.
I didn't even know you were
left.
gone.
I had to
But you
do
were
something.
quiet. I was worried.
Am I the only one who checked the private chat?
Yeah, you actually are. I don't ever check the private chat. I probably should, but I never do.
Sometimes it's funny. I'll go back there and people will be fighting, but if that's not happening, then I don't usually look too hard at it.
Johnny. Yeah, I don't look at it either. I'm actually at the point where it's like the private chat. You guys are all here. You guys are all, it's all four of you. I don't really look at the private chat. If you guys leave, I totally understand because you disappear from the panel, so it's not hard to figure out. I mean, it's like, okay, I understand people got to go sometimes. Ralph McMillan says, good one, Daniel. Marcus Cruz says, Spider-Man PS4, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Okay.
No. I love them both. They're both good.
Okay, yeah, but who's better?
Both of them.
Who is PS4 Spider-Man? Is it just like the character from the game? Are we supposed to actually compare him?
Yeah,
to,
I think we're supposed to compare them, which I think doesn't make any sense, since I believe that this Spider-Man is 4 years into Spider-Man already.
Yeah. Marcus Cruz says Bruce Campbell will be in Doctor Strange 2 with Sam Raimi.
That's actually, I just have a funny thing. In the original trilogy, you know how Bruce Campbell made 3 cameos?
Yeah, he was supposed to be. Yeah, he was supposed to be Mysterio in Spider-Man 4, I believe.
Even in Spider-Man 2, when he's the Usher, he says it helps maintain the illusion.
Yeah, I think he's been playing Ash from Evil Dead this entire time. He's just sort of,
really?
Yeah, he just,
Didn't Tobey Maguire do the voice for the first Spider-Man movie game for PlayStation?
He did all 3 of them.
Okay, I remember. I think I only had the first one. That game kicked mad asses.
Yeah,
I played the PlayStation 4 one, but the PlayStation 2 Spider-Man movie game was sick, dude.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. I agree. It was amazing. I mean, you talk about a reason to have a PlayStation 2. Yes. Oh my god. And again, we've got one of the greatest Spider-Men ever on the panel here with Andrew Casale.
Stop that.
Dude, all you need is a sweater vest. Accept it. Buy yourself a sweater vest. You're Peter Parker, right out of the comics.
I'm not gonna wear
Yeah, you could take on Macho Man Randy Savage. Wow, I just realized. Wow. Okay.
Well,
that's really funny.
You can fight Triple H. He's basically the new Randy Savage. Go ahead. I'd like to see that, Andrew. Wrestle Triple H. That sounds fun.
Randy Savage.
I got you for 3 minutes. Bonesaw.
And Marcus Cruz says Space Jam 2 already outdid Ready Player One. Did it?
I've never seen Space Jam 2.
I didn't watch it.
If you're talking about nostalgia, then yeah, I agree. But if you're talking about box office, I highly doubt that.
Well, I mean, did Ready Player One really do all that well at the box office? Because Ready Player One, if I remember correctly, it underperformed. I know I seen it theatrically, but I don't know. Ready Player One was disappointing.
I've been negative enough tonight. I think I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, Ready Player One wasn't good. It wasn't what it could. It wasn't what it should have been. I think there was so much more potential.
Oh, so did you guys find? So did you guys? Did you guys know that there's cut scenes from the Eternals that Chloe Zhao actually said is very crucial to the plot.
I'm not surprised. That always happens. That's just a standard in the industry now. Let's hack up these creatives' movies and then blame them when the movie doesn't do well. That's basically the plot.
But Marcus, are you telling us that Space Jam 2 is a good movie though? Is that what you're saying? We should check it out because I just haven't heard anything about it. I haven't heard anybody tell me it was good or bad.
I haven't heard anything good about. I haven't heard anything good about Space Jam 2.
I saw it, and really the only standout was really Lola Bunny interacting with Wonder Woman's world in DC.
Well, I did like seeing Bugs and LeBron in DC.
Yeah, I did see. Yeah, like the DC world was a standout for me. Like especially Lola Bunny and her doing like this Amazon run with Gal's theme from BBS.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
So it's worth it just to see that.
Yeah, it's really worth it just to see that. Like the whole interaction of Bugs Bunny just distracting her was hilarious.
Is that still on VOD or is it free streaming anywhere? Do you guys know?
I think it's on HBO Max, isn't it?
Yeah, but is it still? You still have to rent it, or can you just watch it on there?
I think you can just watch it on HBO Max.
Then I'll check it out. As long as it's like free on a service I already have.
Yeah. Daniel Martin says 583 million for Ready Player One. Surprised it made that much. Yeah.
Told you it did good.
Marcus Cruz says they could probably just do Secret Wars in the Spider-Man movie. They are going all out anyway. Yeah, I think this movie is just more, nostalgia bomb after nostalgia bomb. I mean, think about it. We've got Andrew Casale, the original Spider-Man, going to appear in this film. How much more excited can you be? I mean, wow.
Don't forget, we also got Jamie Foxx returning as Electro. We got potentially the Lizard. You got people
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe. You got.
Well, my question is.
Oh wait! I just realized you also got DH Doc. You also got DH Doc Ock in this one from Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah.
How Andrew Casale got his role though? I bet you Jamie Foxx brought him because I know those two rolled
I never talked to the man ever.
Oh, I know you. We know you did. I heard about the Zoom call you had with Jamie Foxx, dude. What are you talking about, bro?
What Zoom call?
Wow.
There's no sex in the champagne room, Andrew Casale.
Andrew Casale's got selective memory right now. We got now. My question is John Malkovich coming in there as Vulture? Are we finally going to get to see him from Sam Raimi's canceled Spider-Man 4 film?
I would love that.
I would like that, actually.
I would, too. I think that'd be dope.
Compare to Michael Keaton.
If he's just in there. If he's just, like, in the movie, like, he's just got, like, a little cameo. And we got to see more. We got to see Jared Leto as Morbius in there, too, thrown in there.
In fact,
you know with how much Easter eggs there are in just the trailers alone.
I mean, we had a Tim Roth Abomination cameo in Shang-Chi, so I could totally see.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
And apparently it was the same actor too from. Yeah, and apparently it was the same actor from the Incredible Hulk that voiced him. So that was it. So that's a pretty
it was Tim Roth. Yeah, it was amazing. Tim Roth was I couldn't believe that. I was like, holy crap.
All he did was make monster noises. Rah.
But like really, I think with how the Spider-Man movie, or no, you know what? Forget Spider-Man. The Spider-Verse movie that's going on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Morbius, the movie Morbius with with how the delay went, and now we're finally getting it in January, which I really can't wait for Morbius. I'm actually looking forward to it a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see Morbius going through space and bat form, going through the multiverse, and then he
Okay.
ends up in the MCU verse.
Okay, this is just a funny video I found that someone made.
Oh, we can't show any videos because
Okay, well I'll just
they'll,
tell
co-
you.
they'll,
Copyright
they'll
claim the video.
copyright me,
Okay,
man.
fine. I'll just tell you. It's the MCU logo we see. It's that, but everything is Tobey Maguire.
Oh, okay.
So Daniel Martin, that video call between Jamie Foxx and Andrew went
What?
pretty much like the Zoom call between Andy Muschietti and Sasha Cali.
So you're
Hopefully
saying
I
Jamie
pronounced
Foxx
that right.
showed the Spider-Man costume and said, "You're Spider-Man."
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
pretty
a
much
lie.
it. They showed the original Spider-Man costume from the original Spider-Man comics and basically told you you're Spider-Man.
That
You
did
really
not
do. You really do look like the original Spider-Man from the original comics, Andrew. It's amazing, dude. It's like uncanny for real.
You know, all the stuff you guys are talking, it makes me kind of mad for one thing. I love Oscar Isaacs is going to be playing Moon Knight, but it makes me kind of pissed that they can't have him show up as Miguel O'Hare, Spider-Man 2099 in this film. Because if they're going to have like all these other Spider-Men showing up, why don't they bring out like actually the coolest Spider-Man that there is in the
How do
comics?
we know that Spider-Man's not in it? He might be.
Yeah, but they're not going to have
Yeah.
the best actor playing him. Like Oscar Isaac should play Spider-Man 2099 in my opinion.
I
That would
mean,
be
he
dope.
might. I mean, he might.
He could. I mean, it's like this. It's like I wouldn't put anything past this movie because it sounds like they've just thrown so many nostalgia berries in this movie that you're just gonna be like every second you blink and you might miss a cameo. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if they literally threw all the books at this movie. Like literally all the books, all the video games. I wouldn't be surprised
You
if
think they'll have a Spider-Gwen in the movie?
Yeah.
Yes,
With Emma
absolutely.
Stone.
Absolutely. I absolutely do think they'll do that.
I think what's her name? Black Cat.
They should have had her in the movies since part 2. I mean,
No,
I don't know
I
why
think-
Felicia's not been up in there, man.
I,
She's like the
I honestly think Black Cat is too extreme for the MCU, honestly.
they could tone her down to where
No.
she work.
No, like that's the thing. I just really think that that in terms of the MCU, she's too extreme. But because you got to think about the kids. But I think for Sony, Black Cat would definitely work. If it was just Sony doing a Black Cat movie, I think that would definitely work.
I don't
Oh.
know. I watched Venom Part 2. I know how many more of these Spider-Man spin-off movies that aren't attached to Marvel I can try to watch. So
Well,
And then-
but wait, now, are we gonna have a Venom? Are we gonna have? That's a big question too. Are we gonna have
How
a
about
Venom
this?
cameo in this movie?
How about like
Absolutely.
how about
I
Hawk
really
2?
do agree with that. I like you basically have him already. You basically had him in the MCU at the end of Venom 2, and really, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do get Venom meeting Tom Holland Spider-Man, which I think in a real life fight 1-on-1, I think Tom Hardy's Venom would definitely win in that fight because he's already going up against Doc Ock, William Dafoe's Green Goblin, Electro, and potentially Lizard, and potentially Sandman, because now there are rumors that Sandman is in this movie from Spider-Man 3.
the thing is that I see though, since they're trying to make Venom such a hero, he won't fight Spider-Man. If he does show up in this film, I guarantee you he fights Topher Grace's Venom. With or without Topher Grace, they'll just have that
Oh.
Venom show up and he'll beat
I'll
its
be
ass
honest,
and
that-
save Tom Holland.
That would be a pretty good fight I'd like to see.
Hey, how about this? What if they do a little joke where they have Tom Hardy and Topher Grace Venom, and Tom Hardy just eats Topher Grace's head?
That would be
Yeah,
amazing. That would be
that would
perfect.
yeah, that would work.
That'd be perfect. And then you literally see him chewing his head, like it's just like I
And then
and
you can have Venom go, "This is what passes for me in this universe."
like they could have, and they got to have Sandman in there too.
It will.
Absolutely.
You saw the
Not
Sand in
Emily
the-
Blunt, Marcus. I mean, she'd be perfect for Spider Woman. Perfect casting. She's got
Oh
the,
yeah,
the
yeah,
motherly,
she's perfect.
those motherly
think of
hips
it.
or whatever you're always talking about.
And Double MJ says they should have just put Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in the Venom universe. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that was a missed opportunity. But who knows what'll happen after this movie, though? That's the whole thing. This
Well,
movie
here's the
might.
thing. I put something together of all the confirmed people that's gonna be in this movie, like Toby, Andrew, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Thomas Hayden Church, the Lizard and Sand and Electro from Andrew, Charlie Cox, like Daredevil, Doctor Strange.
They really have every like. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie was 4 hours at the end of the day.
Just with the people showing up so they can have a second on screen. Yeah. They'll need all that time for that alone. Just be like, hey, look, just be a slideshow of all these different people in their costumes.
Unfortunately, Marcus, I can't because I'll get a copyright strike. So
Well, here's the thing with this new No Way Home. This guy is why I'm seeing this movie.
well, I'll tell you why I'm seeing this movie.
Not this again.
Spider-Man. Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight. Yeah, we know that.
But yeah,
Andrew
can you
Caselli is the real
imagine-
Spider-Man too.
No,
Like
this guy is Tobey Maguire.
that's not Tobey Maguire. That's just Spider-Man.
Look at
Like,
the
how is that-
symbol. Look at the symbol.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny, Daniel. Like, imagine just the entire movie being a slideshow of all the Spider-Man characters from the past.
That's weird.
That'd be hilarious.
Mhm. Yeah. So I mean, this movie. That's why I say, it's like initially I wasn't really excited for it,
Yeah,
but
me
now
too.
I am, just because I want to see all the 16 million cameos that are gonna appear in it. Like that's the whole point. Like,
Not 16 million.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be about 28 million.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I counted how many people. It's not that
No,
much.
you're gonna be in it. So that's
You're wrong, dude.
that's
Hey,
reason
who
enough.
knows? I might be in it.
Yeah, I know. God, Johnny and I filmed our cameo last Thursday, so that's we got a scene. We got a scene where we're helping Andrew Caselli set up his web shooters.
I'm serving Spider-Man
Yeah, and who
pits and
knows?
flies like out of Clerks, man. That's what I'm doing in the movie. Like,
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe I could star in a Will Smith documentary.
Yeah, why not? Why
No,
not?
like, but yeah, like for real, someone actually took a side-by-side picture of me and Will Smith currently, and he said I really do look like him without the glasses. Like it was really hilarious actually seeing me and him face to face without side by side without the glasses.
What's up, Lucas Ironside? How are you, man? Oh my goodness! Wow, what a night, though, guys. What a great discussion. All these all this great Spider-Man stuff coming out. Yeah, because we're here. We've got Andrew Caselli, Spider-Man himself.
Oh, this guy.
All this reason to be excited.
Pizza time.
I want to be an extra at the Macy Gray revival concert. Yeah, we know Macy Gray is gonna have gonna have a cameo in this as well. She's gonna be singing
And
that same song from the original Spider-Man film.
yeah,
Man, I ain't
and
thought of her in forever, man. That's
Don't
and
worry. I rewatched
and
it.
Double MJ
those,
says, I care more about the Morbius movie than No Way Home, to be honest. I'm
yeah,
with you too. I
yeah,
think Morbius is going to be great,
yeah,
but I'm just excited just to see all the cameos. I think
yeah,
that Spider-Man movie is going to be filled to the brim.
Oh, did you see about this? The one guy complaining on Twitter about how Morbius doesn't have the suction cups on his hands.
Oh, there's like the '90s series.
Yeah, from the animated series. Like that was really hilarious to see like someone actually caring about the cartoon, which was censored because it's a kids show. They can't have blood and stuff at the time. So
He couldn't throw a punch.
yeah, of course he could throw a punch.
Actually, no.
I don't know, man. I mean, Rambo had a cartoon series, and we know that Rambo's pretty brutal. So I don't.
Especially with Rambo Last Stand, like literally grabbing a dude's heart out of it, ripping a dude's heart out of his body.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the animated series from the '90s and the Tobey Maguire trilogy were my first exposures
2?
to Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Marcus Cruz says Emily is perfect as Sue Storm. She has motherly vibes, and Sue Storm loves her children. What? Emily Blunt is basically that. Okay. On that note, we're going to go ahead and end tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. This has been a great live stream. I appreciate you gentlemen being here as always. Thank you everybody in the chat who joined us for tonight. Yeah, Marcus, you get the final word tonight. I'm going to make you. We're going to pin your comment because your comment had absolutely nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Oh, I made fun of Emily Blunt's motherly vibes when I was talking about Spider-Woman. So he was defending his casting choice.
So we're gonna go ahead and put that there. Double MJ says peace, and Daniel Martin gives us the fire. So we will be back next Tuesday with another open panel installment of the ZodWriter Show. And if you guys want more from me, you can definitely catch me this Thursday on another late night Q&A when with my special guest Ashley the Widow. I'm sure we're going to be talking about a lot of MCU stuff. Johnny, what do you got coming up with Pink Buzz, man? What's going on?
Well, Friday we're doing our 25th episode. It's going to be a celebration. We got an open panel. Going to have a lot of the creators we've already talked to on there, like Aaron Reese, Schlepzig, Adrian Kollick, and then a bunch of our friends. We're just going to talk about
Mr. Lee's coming back?
No, he wanted to, but he's going to be at Thought Bubble. It's going to be the first con that he's attending since the plague broke out. So sadly, he's not going to make it, but he wanted to. But everybody else is going to be there, and it's just going to be a discussion about the comics of 2021. It's going to be indie comics talk, people. We might talk a little bit about some Black Label stuff, but no Big Two is really going to get.
Oh, it's good. That's going to be great, man. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. I set my reminder for Friday so that I don't miss it. Jeffrey, what do you got coming up, man? Anything good?
Well, tomorrow I'm actually planning doing kind of like a commentary video talking about my writing process on Justice League Pandora's Box Part 1, and I think that you guys are really gonna enjoy that, and it really, I just think that I think with you guys learning like really kind of like my thought process, kind of like learning my thought process on the inspiration of like some lines of dialogue and really kind of like some story arcs. I think that you guys are really going to enjoy my commentary on on Justice League Pandora's Box. So yeah, that's
Cool.
gonna be really fun.
Where'd Andrew go, man? Did his spider sense start tingling?
Yeah, his spider sense started tingling because I was about to ask him what he had coming up, but he bailed on us. So thank you for that, Jeffrey. Looking forward to that. Thank you for being here with us tonight, man. As always, this has been fantastic. And we'll see you next week with more of the ZodWriter Show live open panel. Again, guys, tune in with me this Thursday for me and Ashley the Widow for late night Q&A. And we are out of here, guys. Good night.
Peace.